Hello YouTube. Today I am over at the right hand side of the deep docks, and I am in this specific room because this is the room where you can get captured by a warden fly and he will take you to the slab. Now normally that's annoying to deal with, but you can escape and then you can just take the stagway back. But my Hornet isn't really in a good state to escape right now. She has the cling grip and nothing else. She has no dash, she has no ability to float with her cloak, and she doesn't have her needle skill that allows her to free the bell beast, which means that she has not unlocked the bellways, which means she cannot fast travel out of the slab. And because she doesn't have the dash, I don't even know if she can leave the slab once she gets trapped there. So I'm on my way to make the world's greatest softlock, truly locking Hornet in jail forever. But let me go ahead and show you how I set this up before we see what happens. After starting the game, you have to make sure when you find the bell beast here that you absolutely never free him. It is crucial to locking Hornet in her prison forever. Instead, we go right to the west and try to get to the wormways. When we get there, we'll be stopped by a door with a keyhole. Ooh, a key in Bone Bottom costs 500 rosaries. How many do we have? 8. Well, it is time to get to farming, ladies and gentlemen. The best way to get up to those 500 rosary beads is to simply kill enemies in these two rooms over and over again until you get as much as you need. It can be somewhat lengthy of a process, but it will go by quick enough once you've got a handle down. After we've gotten all the money we need, we'll buy the key and head back to the wormways. Now, we go to the wormways with the goal of continuing through them to get to Shellwood and get the cling grip. We can do so and then get the cling grip without the dash, but there are some points of pain we have to address in the wormways first. Point of pain number 1. This jump near the beginning is impossible without the dash. Or you may think so. The solution is to kill Hornet. Just roll with me on this one. Upon making it back, you will see Hornet's death cocoon, a common sight to all of us, I'm sure. If you pogo and heal stall off of it, you can make it up the ledge. Pain point number 1 of the wormways solved. You can then continue to the wormways through normal until you see this impossible jump. Now ignore that. What you have to do to get up to this ledge is simpler. Just jump, do a heal stall, and whether or not you grab the ledge, you will likely respawn up there, leaving only one impossible jump left, right here. The last jump is tricky. You have to jump down and make sure you stay on the unstable platform so that you respawn up there. And while down here, you have to farm enough silk so that you can heal once again. Because in order to make that final impossible jump, we need to heal stall. And because we already heal stalled to get up to that platform, we have to farm silk off of these worms. And like I said, as long as you're able to do this well enough without going on any other platform that would force you to respawn on the new platform, then anytime you fall into the spikes, Hornet will respawn up at the platform that we just had a hard jump to get to. So now that we have our silk full, and now that we're able to dodge this enemy, we can jump, heal stall, and just barely make it up and over, and we've now made it past the wormways, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. With that, we have finally made it to Shellwood with no dash. And in Shellwood, I only think there's really one major trick that you need to know if you want to get this done. And that trick is in this room. You see, to the right, we would be going to enter Sister Splinter's boss room, but we can't get to her boss room without the dash, so we are going to be skipping her altogether. And we can do so by taunting continuously to bring this enemy over here, to make them into a pogo block, a pogo enemy. that we can use to skip this area. All you have to do after that is do a nice pogo followed by another downward needle slash, and you will have made it over. And really, that's the biggest skip I think that I need to point out for this area. There's a few more skips coming up that require you to do pogos, like that one, but ignore that. Most of those skips are pretty basic. Just pogo on enemies, you don't really have to set them up too hard, and you will get to the wall thing in no time. No time has come and gone. We are here to bind the wall thing to ourselves, and now that we have this ability, the only thing we have left to do is to run our way over to the nearest warden bug so they can capture Hornet for the rest of her life. This is doable by getting to Haunted Bellheart, and sorry, we will not be saving Haunted Bellheart at all. Not only is Hornet being locked up in the slab, but none of these bugs are making that any better. The way to get out and to get back to the main path without freeing the Bell Beast, which, by the way, take note that you can still insert rosaries despite there being no Bell Beast, is by going through this secret route down from Bellheart, and it takes us all the way back to the Marrow. And after getting to the Marrow, we can continue on our path to the room we showed at the start of this video. And thus, we've made it full circle. The plan has been set. Now all that's left is to put it into action for Hornet to get kidnapped, and now we will be putting her in a state that is truly impossible to escape from. So I had initially thought that this was the end game. I assumed that by getting to the slab with no dash and with no other abilities, Hornet was truly trapped here, and that she couldn't even be able to get her cloak back or her needle. But that, in fact, is not true. I will show you in a bit that it is possible to escape the slab. Well, sorry, not escape the slab, but it is possible to get your equipment back even without the ability to dash. Most of the slab is perfectly doable without having the dash, but there is one section that is very tricky, and I'll show you the way I was able to work around the issue there. It is this one room that causes all of the problems of escaping the slab dashless. As you can see, I tried to do a heal stall. There was no effect. You cannot make it past that jump from the left side of the room to the right side without being able to dash over to it, specifically because of that little spike ball on the way. But if you took your notes from earlier in this video, you may have learned that we can use Hornet's cocoon that she makes upon death to skip little jumps like these. So I figured I might as well try it, and wouldn't you know, that was very effective. Problem solved with the power of death, once again, Hornet's greatest ability. And at this point, the rest of this room is completely doable without having any special ability. You may ask, well, Kilroy, how the hell is this doable? You're not getting over this edge right here. And I kind of was worried about that too the second I got up here. And honestly, my solution for this is, I can't even call it my solution. I got saved by Team Cherry, the gods of Hollow Knight, Team Cherry themselves. Apparently, if you just try to jump around this ledge long enough, and then you throw yourself into the spikes, you will get saved by this game's automatic placement system. The game assumed, well, not that time it didn't work. Pardon me. But I continued to try and mess around with this for a bit, and eventually, I guess the game just took pity on me because it put me up where I was supposed to be. I did not intend to do that at all, but apparently you can just do that. Just jump around that edge there, and eventually the game will put you where you're supposed to be. The rest of the escape process works as normal. You can get your stuff back, you can kill all the flies in the arena. But unfortunately, you will start to notice something once you have finished this arena. The exit towards the Citadel is entirely locked off. You cannot open it from this side, no matter how much you may want to. Saddest of all, you can make your way over to the Bellway. The path that people normally use to escape the slab, you can put in your rosaries. You can have the Bellway open up for Hornet, ready to take her away from this horrible prison to the freedom of Farloom. And once opened, you will come to find nothing. You cannot interact with the Bellways if you have never freed the Bell Beast, and I think we all know where the Bell Beast is right now. If only you freed him earlier, Hornet. And really, there's nothing more to say. This is the end of the game. This is the end of everything for this save file of Hollow Knight Silksong. It may be somewhat incorrect to say you're trapped in the slab. You've got a whole half a room open of Mount Fae, where you can go and freeze to death if you ever feel bored of staying in prison for the rest of your life. But outside of that, you are stuck in the slab. This is your end and your beginning. This is your life. And this is a particularly nasty kind of softlock, because you're so close to freedom. You can get your stuff back, but you can never leave. Thank you everyone for watching me trap a bug in prison forever. Subscribe for more terrible details and maybe upsetting details if you're not happy of this ending. But if you are interested in endings like this, you'll definitely want to subscribe, because I feel like there's a lot of messed up things you can do in this game, as evidenced by my Parasite video and other things. Have a good day, everyone.